Jaja Binks, Jaja Binks. Me say your humble servant, Jaja Binks, Jaja Binks. Oh, muy, I love you, Jaja Binks. Me say your Jaja Binks.
Hello everybody, some would say I'm the reverse, and welcome to my review for The Flash Season 9, Episode 2, titled Hear No Evil. This episode deals mainly with two separate storylines. We have stuff going on with Caitlin, Frost, and the new version of the two named Khione. We also have some stuff going on with Hartley, a new version of the Fiddler, and some tie-ins to to Red Death. I almost said the Reverse Flash. Just to get out of the way right now, I really didn't like this episode very much. I thought it was really poorly written, and there was way too much filler stuff going on in this episode for the final season, for only a 13-episode season. So, just to get out of the way right now, I thought this was not a good episode. And so far, the season has been very disappointing. I'm looking forward to some stuff coming up, some fan service stuff, but so far, this season has not been great. But yeah, let's get in depth about what I liked and disliked about this episode. So, let's start with the main storyline, our Khione stuff involving Caitlin, Mark, Frost, all that. So, obviously, at the end of last season, Caitlin and Mark, they tried to bring Frost back. They put Caitlin in the, I forgot what it's called, but the acronym is CRC. Basically this, cryo chamber pod thing. And at the end, she came out and was somebody new. And we, of course, met that version of the character at the end of last week. And at first, we meet her in this episode. She calls herself Snow. Eventually, by the end of the episode, she gets a new name. She calls herself Khione, which I do like that name because it is a reference to Thomas Snow's original, experiments that he did on Caitlin. So I thought that was cool. I thought that giving her that name was cool, a good idea. So I like that. I also like the character, just the way she acts. I don't know, she's kind of innocent, and she's kind of emotionless. I don't know, I like the way the character is written in terms of the way she acts with other characters, and I like the way that Danielle plays her. I still don't like the design. I think the whole blue hair, the extensions, it looks really bad. Not a fan of the design, but I like the name, and I like the acting, or just the personality in general. But the main problem I had with this storyline, I guess, is just the storyline. The writing was really, really bad. So basically, Caitlin is pretty much dead. I guess they're just going with the fact that she's dead, and Team Flash just does not care. There's a little bit of drama involving Mark and Barry, how Mark kind of impulsively, kind of just sacrificed Caitlin to bring Frost back, and there was a little bit of drama there, and they were trying to bring Caitlin and Frost back in this episode, but by the end of it, they just kind of accepted that Caitlin and Frost are both dead, and that Khione has replaced them, which is just ridiculous. Caitlin has been on this show for 8 years. Barry has been, one of her best friends, and he just doesn't really care that Caitlin is, presumably dead, gone. It's really ridiculous. There's no scene of them mourning Caitlin. There's no scene of them actually trying to get Caitlin back. There's a stupid plotline of them taking a vote on which one they should bring back, Caitlin or Frost, and I don't know, I just thought this whole plotline was so stupid and ridiculous, and I don't know what the writers were thinking. First of all, what's the point of Khione? What's the point of just getting rid of Caitlin and replacing her with a new character in the final season? Apparently, Eric Wallace has said that Khione is going to be a major player when it comes to the finale, and that she's going to be a big deal, but I don't understand why she exists. Why not just have Caitlin, I don't know, she's been a main character for the first 8 seasons. Why write her out into in the 9th? It's not like they had to, write Danielle Panabaker off the show. It's so ridiculous. And the way that they handle it in this episode was one of the dumbest things this show has ever done. So yeah, I think this whole plot line is just so stupid, so poorly written, so yeah. I guess the other major thing to talk about in this episode is the Hartley storyline. Hartley's back, and I don't know, I guess he's being hunted by a new version of the Fiddler. Basically, the way it's going is that the Fiddler is working for Red Death, and they were looking for Hartley's gauntlets, and that's why he's being hunted. So they're hunting Hartley, so Hartley goes to Team Flash for some help, and basically, we get more stuff between Hartley and Roderick, which got introduced in season 6, episode 18, which was Hartley's last episode that he's been in. So we get the continuation of that, and it's kind of dumb. I don't really like Hartley. I really liked him in the first season, and I liked him when he came back in the second season. He was fine in season 6, but I don't know. He's just not great in this episode. Just kind of a boring character, nothing special. And then the new Fiddler isn't interesting at all. So yeah, the only real interesting thing that happens here is the ending with Red Death. And I'll talk about that actually in a bit. But yeah, basically, the final showdown with Barry and Hartley versus the Fiddler, she shoots her little sound waves at Roderick and all of Hartley's other friends, and they go to this, I don't know if it's another dimension, but they're basically phasing in, I don't know. I can't even explain it. You guys would have to watch the scene, and if you're watching this video, you've probably seen the episode. You guys know what I mean. It was really weird. Barry basically explained it that they were basically just vibrating, I don't know, so fast that they were kind of in another dimension. They were kind of in another phase of matter. I don't know. They didn't really explain it good, but I think that's what's happening with Red Death as well, because they steal Hartley's gauntlets. They use it on Red Death, and he or she or whatever, she stops vibrating, and she's basically free. So I don't know if she was stuck in that vibrational phase or whatever Barry said. I think that's what was going on. I'm not sure. They didn't explain it well, but that was the only interesting part of the storyline. I don't know. This was just a really dumb episode. Some other small stuff. There's some more stuff with Joe and Cecile leaving Central City. I don't care. Again, I just don't care. We also get some flashbacks to last episode, when Chester and Allegra are talking in one of the scenes. Chester just kind of references what happened with them last week, with them making out and such, and it literally flashes back to that scene. Really, do the writers really think we are that stupid? We can't remember back to last week. I don't know. This episode's just has a lot of issues. There's nothing great about this episode at all. The Red Death scene was not as interesting as the last week's Red Death scene. Last week was interesting because it was the first time we'd seen the character. This time around, it's okay, here's another scene with Red Death. And also, they're getting rid of the whole vibrating thing and the lightning and everything, and now we actually get a full look at the costume, and it just doesn't look as good as the vibration that they've been doing for the past 2 weeks. I don't know. This episode, really, there's just nothing good about this episode, in my opinion. I think it's all just bad. So, yeah, this episode was not good. Definitely weaker than last week's episode, and it's not a good start to this season. These first 2 episodes just not been great. I am kind of looking forward to next week's episode, because we are getting kind of a cool, Rogues team up with Barry teaming up with Hartley and Chillblaine and Goldface and Hotness. Even though it's not the best selection of Rogues, it will be cool to see that dynamic. So, yeah, I don't know. I hope we're getting the Rainbow Raider and everything back next week. Maybe Murmur, which we've seen from the trailers. I hope we get that kind of rogue Civil War thing that I think we're getting based on the trailers, with our team of Rogues and Red Death's team of Rogues. I don't know. I just want to see Red Death and Barry actually fight soon, because right now they're setting up the Red Death storyline, but it's like one scene per episode, and it's moving too slowly, especially because I'm pretty sure we're only having 5 episodes for this storyline. I really hope we get a lot of really great Red Death content in the next 3 episodes, because there's not much going on right now. But yeah, overall, not a great episode at all. Really not a great episode. Nothing good to say. So, yeah. I guess that's all I have today for you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Put in the comments, what did you think of this episode? Did you like? What did you like? What did you dislike? I'd like to see if some of you guys actually enjoyed this episode. I really did not. But, yeah, overall, tell me in the comments what you thought. So, yeah, stay tuned for my review for episode 3 and all the other episodes. And, yeah, thank you for watching. See ya.